This is Build Your Difference, a podcast created by Blue Artists, a brand platform with one goal: to help great visionaries like you build impressive brands. Every month, we'll bring you insightful tips, knowledge, and compelling stories from successful entrepreneurs and the Blue Artists team on how to create and market a winning brand that does more than just launch a new product or service. It starts an ongoing conversation. Because you're not just making a brand, you're making a difference. Let's start building.
I am John Marble, and this is Build Your Difference. And we are with Pierre Walters, CEO of Blue Artists.
Hey, John.
Hey, Pierre. Well, I want to start off, if you could just give us, I need some good news, right? I need some brand spanking good news. If you got some good news for us, because it's been a pretty tough couple of weeks or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it really has. So at the time that we're recording this, we're in the midst of COVID-19. I mean, right, like this thing has really taken the entire planet, the entire planet by storm. And like, so I don't know, like by the time all this gets published, and I don't know how much, I don't know where we'll be, whether it's better or worse, but I think it's worth acknowledging that, like, at the time that we, the last time you and I sat down to talk, I don't even know if this was a thing. I don't think
it was. If it was, it was just in China at the time.
Right. So things have progressed. And I can say that, originally our plan for, we've been talking about Branddesk, and I'm wearing the Branddesk shirt. And originally our plan for Branddesk was we were going to sort of, just finish up we were doing some crossing some T's and some dotting of some I's, just some little fine tuning in April before we started to slowly roll it out in May. But in light of the circumstances, we're really looking at how much sooner we can launch. I don't know yet any particular dates. We're still discussing. There are definitely things that we still need to be, a little more fine-tuned before we actually roll it out. But we're having serious discussions about how much sooner we can, basically sooner than we wanted originally, which was in like mid to late May. So maybe, we'll be rolling out earlier than that, maybe early May, late April. I'm not sure yet, but it is definitely a discussion that we're having. I think before the call, you were saying something a little bit about Upwork, about something you saw about Upwork. What was that?
Yes. Well, it's interesting. I want to say a day or two after our last recording, I get an email from one of the heads of Upwork, let's say, and offering this new beta service where you can get your project, your contract paid almost immediately. Right now you have to wait the 5-day or 7-day holding period, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So you finish the project, but then you have to wait for the money and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so this new program they're kind of rolling out allows select freelancers to do the work and get the payment almost immediately, similar to one of the perks that you were sort of offering with Branddesk there, which I thought was very interesting. That tells me that they are very conscious and aware that there are others who are trying to siphon, right?
Yeah.
The freelancers and the clients, the artists, away from their platforms.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Look. You know what? They got to do what they got to do,
sure.
And I'm happy for it. I'm going to say that, Upwork, I think Upwork is a great service. I definitely think there's some things that they could do a lot better. And I definitely can say that I don't like the direction that they are taking their platform now versus maybe even a year ago. So I have definitely see it trending in a direction that isn't comfortable for me. But I do know that for a lot of other people, it's a fantastic service. I can say this, kind of to your point. I actually got an email also from Upwork announcing a new beta service, but it was from the client perspective, not from the service provider perspective. And what they were saying was that they're launching a sort of a new, kind of like what you were saying, like a beta sort of contract service, which allows clients like me to kind of use Upwork as the payment processor or the payroll provider for my other contractors who may not be inside of Upwork. And furthermore, also for me to use it as a way to be paid from my clients. So for example, if I let's say my agency, Blue Artists, we get clients that come to our website, they order services. Well, instead of ordering their services from my website, we could send them an invoice from Upwork, and the client can pay our invoice using Upwork's service, and their payment would be held in Upwork's escrow, and then it would be released to me once we have provided the service that the client has paid for. So I guess that's saying this the exact same thing that you said, but the way they pitched it to me was from the perspective of someone who was a client on Upwork, and how I could better serve my clients by providing them with this service where they could sort of pay an entire invoice and it's held in Upwork's escrow service.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. But the thing is, I've been saying this for a really long, probably for the past 2 years, that I really foresee Upwork taking steps to move further and further into the realm of being a payroll service, as opposed to a marketplace, which is what they are now. Mm-hmm.
And it's very interesting that not only did that email come from them a couple of days after our last recording, but then within a week or something, this virus hits, and now it forces them to pretty much do that. Because the other day there was an email out from Upwork saying that in light of the virus, the pandemic around, they were going to look at a way to get payments out automatically as opposed to the 5-day holding period or whatever, So they were already in that process with this beta feature.
Right.
Now they've gone. I mean, I don't know if they've done that just yet, if they put that new policy in, but they were talking about it on two separate fronts. One, what they were already discussing to begin with, and then two, because of the virus. And but it pretty much says that, you've got something. You're on the right track. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's how I read it, because one of the things that I really sort of I don't know if it's instinctual, but I maybe just experience with their platform and seeing it evolve, is I just started to realize that there are some inherent challenges with sort of just being a marketplace. And it's, a lot of these platforms that are primarily Upwork and Fiverr. Okay, just so you know, I'm not afraid to say their name. Those are the two. There are others, but those are the two primary ones. Sort of operating primarily in this sort of marketplace space right now. The challenge with that is that, as more and more people become freelancers, and the saturation gets to the point where there has got to be a better way to give everybody a fair shot. Because right now, if you're a freelancer on Upwork, it is literally, it is a race to the bottom. When a client is looking for who they're going to hire on a particular project, your best bet is to either outbid somebody else by lowering your price, trying to offer better value, which is a race to the bottom, or trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to pay Upwork, or what sort of Upwork subscription, or what do I need to do so that Upwork will put me into their recommended section? Because as a client, when a client is purchasing or ordering a service on Upwork, they're basically presented with, here are the people that Upwork recommends, and then here's everybody else.
Yeah. And it can take time to get to that recommended tier. You know what I mean? Like, it depends on what you're going on to Upwork to do. I'm trying to remember how long it took me to get to sort of that status. Minimum 6 months, maybe. Could have been a year,
And then there's how long do you stay there, and how long before they begin to sort of leverage that? One of the other things that is really, I don't know if it's ethically challenging to me, but it's definitely, I have a problem with it, is this idea of needing to essentially pay for connects, which is how you bid on a project. Anything you see that you want to bid on, you basically, that's going to cost you something. And I feel a certain way about that.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Build Your Difference. If you'd like to learn more about how Blue Artists can help you develop a distinguished brand that inspires and engages a growing audience, then please visit us at www.blue-artist.com and be sure and subscribe to our monthly podcast for the latest tips and trends in brand development and marketing. And remember, you're not just making a brand, you're making a difference. Start building yours today.